Right. Democrats are also fighting to raise the minimum wage because people who are working full-time shouldn't live in poverty. President Obama made that case in his State of the Union.
This will help families. It'll give businesses customers with more money to spend. It does not involve any new bureaucratic program. So join the rest of the country. Say yes. Give America a raise. Give them a raise.
And on the state level, the fight's heating up. Legislation to raise minimum wages in the works in 20 states. And in Connecticut, the governor's pushing to raise the minimum wage to $10.10 an hour by 2017, which would be the highest in the nation. Joining me now is that governor, Dan Malloy of Connecticut. Governor, thanks for being with us.
Hey, Rev, it's great to be with you, and this is an important issue. The reality is in Connecticut, we raised the minimum wage 45 cents on January 1st. For a lot of people, that was the first raise they'd had in years. There is a reality that to take steps further, we need to get to $10.10. We need to do it in a reasonable amount of time. We are committed to doing that. Listen, I want to lift people out of poverty. Right. I mean, the idea that you could work 40 hours a week and still only walk away with $404 doesn't make a whole lot of sense when we have babysitters and day laborers making that amount of money already.
Now, why is raising the minimum wage, both in your state of Connecticut, Governor, and nationwide, why does it make good economic sense for the country?
Well, first of all, it's good for families. I mean, listen, we want to be good to families. We want families to work. We want them to have decent housing. We want them to have well-educated kids. And how do you do that on something less than $10.10 an hour? So that's number one. Number two, we know that raising the funds that these folks have available is going to go right back into the economy. These are not folks who are putting a lot of money away in stocks and bonds. They're going to go out and spend it at the grocery store. They're going to buy books for their kids. They're going to take care of a sick relative. This is money that goes right back into our economy, but also lifts a family out of poverty. If we do this in Connecticut, if we win this fight, we will take thousands, tens of thousands of people from a wage that's currently less than the poverty rate in the United States to something that is over the poverty rate in the United States. This is what we should be doing as a nation. No one should be working that many hours and still walk away with $404?
Now, you know, Governor, plenty of Republicans aren't just against raising the minimum wage. They don't want it to exist at all. Listen to this.
Do you advocate getting rid of the minimum wage? Would that create more jobs?
Absolutely, and it would help the poor.
Do you favor abolishing the minimum wage?
Well, I think that we need to look at all of the factors that go into job creation. I think that's something that obviously Congress would have to take a look at.
I want people to make as much as they can. I don't think the minimum wage law works.
So you do not believe in the concept of the minimum wage?
That's correct.
You would abolish the minimum wage?
Correct.
I mean, how do you counter that kind of talk, Governor?
Well, let's be honest. Some of these people are not wrapped too tight. The reality is, you know, we could repeal child labor laws. Would that be good for employment as well? I mean, and by the way, we have at least one governor, Republican governor of the United States, who's advocated that position. That's almost sick. The reality is, if you really stand for American families, if you really care about a burgeoning middle class, you would do things in Washington to grow the economy. The Republicans have refused to do that. They have refused to support employment. They have refused to fund public works projects, to build the kind of infrastructure that they rave about when they travel to China or Europe and say how great the railroads are and how great the roads are and how great the airports are, but they won't fund those projects in our country, which would put people back to work. So listen, we all have to do what we can in this world. We're only on the world for a limited period of time. We've decided in Connecticut, and I've asked the people of Connecticut to move with me to make sure that their neighbors or the people that are caring for their parents or grandparents or the people that are serving them at a restaurant have a decent wage that they can raise their own families on. As I said in my speech today, State of the State address to the legislature, which one of you would work for $404 a week and try to raise a family?
Governor Dan Malloy, I'm going to have to leave it there.